I've always found that fun goes hand in hand with mastery, as I'm sure the Quidditch players amongst us would agree.
Let's check out some of the best open-world games from Switch 1 that are seriously worth playing on Switch 2. Smoother frame rates, faster loading, and just all-around better performance make these titles feel brand new again. Alright, quick heads up. This video is sponsored by Sega and RGG Studio, and it's a good one. Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is now available on Nintendo Switch 2, and honestly, if you just got the system, this is one of the best third-party games you can grab right now. You can pick it up on the Nintendo eShop or in stores. This isn't just a simple port, we're talking 25 plus minutes of new cutscenes, an English dub for the first time ever, and a brand new online co-op mode called Red Light Raid, where you and up to 3 friends or CPU buddies take on waves of enemies across different locations. Plus, it's running at 60 FPS handheld or docked and looks super clean in 4K when docked. If you've never played Yakuza 0, this is the perfect place to start. The story's incredible. Set in 1988 Japan, you play as Kiryu and Majima in a gritty crime drama packed with twists, emotion, and action. The combat's wild, you've got 3 fighting styles per character, crazy heat moves, and you can throw bikes at people. It's amazing. And if you want to take a break from the story, you've got karaoke, arcades, disco, bowling, and way more. It's basically a full-on trip to 80s Tokyo in your pocket. Again, Yakuza 0 Director's Cut is available now on Switch 2. Links in the description.
Thanks for the intro, Dan. No Man's Sky on Switch 2 feels like a big step up from the first version. The visuals are way cleaner now, with sharper textures, improved lighting, and way less blurriness. Overall performance is much smoother too, with a more stable frame rate and faster load times when jumping between planets or entering space stations. It also handles busy areas way better, so you don't get those rough slowdowns like on Switch 1. It's still the same massive game with all the updates included, but the Switch 2 upgrade makes exploring the galaxy feel a lot more polished and enjoyable. Monster Hunter Stories 2 on Switch 2 feels like a completely different beast. While the original struggled with unstable frame rates hovering below 30 FPS, the new hardware frequently hits up near 60 FPS in handheld, giving the combat and exploration a way smoother flow. Plus, load times got slashed. Starting the game or loading saves now takes roughly half the time compared to the OG Switch. Visually, it's unchanged, but the performance boost alone makes it a way more enjoyable journey through those vibrant worlds. Ni no Kuni 2 on Switch 2 runs way smoother than it did on Switch 1. The original version was stuck at 30 FPS and often dipped during busy scenes or flashy combat, but now on Switch 2 it hits a solid 60 FPS, making battles feel a lot more responsive and the overall gameplay much snappier. Load times are faster too, and the performance boost really helps the game's beautiful world shine without all the stutter. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on Switch 2 finally feel like the games they were meant to be. Locked 60 FPS, way smoother performance, and even 4K when docked with HDR. Casseroya Lake, infamous for choppy frame rates, now runs flawlessly with a bunch more Pokemon on screen and no lag, making the world feel truly alive. Visuals are sharper, colors pop, reflections and lighting look richer, while load times are way faster, with warping that used to take 8 to 20 seconds now happening in mere seconds. Digital Foundry says the image quality is clean, temporally treated, and mostly eliminates aliasing with 1080p handheld and 4K docked.
Because by eating rotting corpses, they prevent epidemics. Did he know they...
The Witcher 3 on Switch 2 is a total glow-up. Thanks to the beefed-up hardware, the once blurry, stutter-prone open world now runs sharper and smoother with dynamic resolution and a much more stable frame rate, especially in handheld, turning what felt like a fragile slideshow into something playable and fun. Load times are also noticeably improved, and even without a formal Switch 2 patch, the game feels dramatically more polished. Less pop-in, cleaner visuals, and a smoother flow overall.
Believe that? Gotta believe something. That's what keeps us going.
Zelda Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 2 got a solid upgrade over the original version. The visuals are noticeably sharper with higher resolution, better textures, and smoother lighting effects, especially when gliding from sky islands or exploring wide open areas. The game runs way more stable now too, hitting closer to 60 FPS with way fewer frame drops compared to Switch 1. Load times are way faster thanks to the new hardware, and even the audio sounds cleaner and more immersive. It's still the same game content-wise, but if you're planning to revisit or play it for the first time, the Switch 2 version is easily the best way to experience it. Red Dead Redemption on Switch 2 actually runs way better even without a patch. You're looking at a stable 30 FPS with VRR kicking in during handheld mode, which smooths things out a lot more than you'd expect. It feels snappier, load times are a bit faster, and overall it just plays cleaner right out of the box. No visual overhaul or big fancy features, but the improved hardware alone makes it a more enjoyable ride through the Wild West on Switch 2, even unpatched. Batman Arkham Knight on Switch 2 is a massive improvement over the original. Where the first port was basically unplayable, now it runs at a stable 30 FPS even during Batmobile chases, and combat feels much smoother thanks to fewer stutters and micro-freezes. Visually it's still rough in spots, resolution and textures stay low, but the upgraded hardware brute forces better performance, with near 1080p handheld rendering and crisp 1440p docked visuals. Yes, there are still rare crashes and some janky animation in driving, but compared to the slideshow that was the original Switch version, this feels like someone finally unclogged Gotham's streets.
focus on yourself. Try to be a hero. Look out! Batman's hit!
Darksiders 3 on Switch 2 runs way better than it did on the original, while Switch 1 was capped at 30 FPS and still struggled in busy fights or big environments. Switch 2 runs in 60 FPS, making combat and exploration feel way more responsive. Load times are quicker, the frame pacing feels tighter, and overall performance just feels more solid.
Your demise is exactly what I desire!
Red Faction Guerilla on Switch 2 feels like a total upgrade, now running a smooth 60 FPS in performance mode, way better than the inconsistent frame rate on the original. Load times between missions are slashed from around a minute to just 10 seconds, making the gameplay much more seamless. Minecraft on Switch 2 runs way smoother compared to the original version. Chunk loading is faster, frame rates are more stable, and the overall performance just feels cleaner whether you're building massive structures or exploring deep caves. Even without a specific upgrade patch, the jump from Switch 1 to Switch 2 makes everything run better right out of the box. It's still the same blocky world, but now it plays way more like it should.
Most notably that dragon attack. Hopefully the rest of your year isn't as eventful.
Hogwarts Legacy on Switch 2 is a proper glow-up compared to the original, now running at native 1080p handheld and 1440p docked with HDR, plus DLSS making things look smooth and crisp, with significantly improved lighting, shadows, and anti-aliasing that bring the world to life. You can glide across the grounds and actually enter Hogsmeade without annoying loading screens, and frame rates feel way more consistent. Load times are shorter too, so hopping into shops doesn't interrupt your flow. Sure, there are some odd physics glitches and occasional pop-ins, but overall performance and visuals have been dramatically upgraded.
Terrifying. I shall be at the castle where it's safe. Good luck to both of you.
A demi, guys. I don't know what he's putting in his pumpkin juice, but he's obviously had too much of it. I've never seen Mr. Moon in such a state.
Assassin's Creed The Rebel Collection on Switch 2 gets a solid refresh, both Black Flag and Rogue run smoother thanks to dynamic resolution hitting higher most of the time, locked at around 30 FPS. But with way fewer dips than on Switch 1, and load times are noticeably quicker too. The visuals now look sharper. You'll actually see the enhanced draw distance and crisper textures. Plus, Switch-specific features like motion-controlled aiming, HD rumble, and touchscreen menus make it feel fresh and polished.
Couldn't leave well enough alone, could you?
Saints Row 4 on Switch 2 is a noticeable bump up from the original version. Handheld, it's now a steady 720p at a locked 60 FPS, way smoother and more responsive than on Switch 1, where framerate dips were common. Reddit users say it runs way better, with no stutters, and that it's hitting a solid 60 FPS even during explosive scenes. Video comparisons confirm the visuals stay sharp and frame time is consistent.
How the hell am I hearing you? I don't have a phone on me.
I just patched myself into your simulation and projected my voice through the audio system. You should be able to hear me from anywhere. And you don't have to yell.
Okay, because that's not a little creepy. Kinsey, I'm unarmed here. How about getting me out?
I can't do that until I backtrace your signal to your physical body. Until then, you're stuck there, so you might want to go buy a gun.
Right. Friendly fire it is. Shit, where's the nearest store again?
Set your GPS from the map in your hub.
Hub?
It's like a digital information pad.
Skyrim on Switch 2 gets a minor upgrade. The visuals are noticeably sharper with better lighting and cleaner textures. The frame rate is way more stable too, making combat and exploration feel smoother across the board. Load times are much faster, which makes a big difference when you're jumping in and out of dungeons or fast traveling. It's still the same legendary adventure, but it definitely feels more modern and polished on Switch 2.
I've never seen it.
Okay everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you liked that video, please leave a like and subscribe, and ring the bell if you want to get notified when we release new content. We hope to see you in the next video.